And on this episode, we're working on that guy. Not the tiki guy, the car. You know, whatever. Well, I was going to do some work today, but the thunderstorm just knocked all the power out. So now we're just sort of hanging out. But I was planning on working on that guy today, but not currently. Oh, and man's best friend, the pit bull, is almost useless in a thunderstorm, by the way. Oh, good times. Although, on a side note, my pool is nice and full. This dog is so dumb, she's in the pool in a thunderstorm. Just rocks for brains. Well, the rain finally let up and the power came back on. We got that magic Edison juice flowing once again. So, we can get back to work now. So, back onto the old 36, which I've been waiting to work on for quite some time. I've been dreaming of this thing for years. So now I have the car, I have the money to buy the parts. What I don't have is a plan that I can actually follow because it's just scrambled eggs in there at the moment with so many different ideas. But I want to use the wheels that are on there. I think it's a key important design aspect. Let me bring it along. So we have the wide fives, which I really like. You know, those are not the original wheels. 35 would have had wire wheels, which I no longer have here. Oh, like these, those things is what it would have had. So these are actually 36 wheels from what I understand, but it actually even has hydraulic brakes on it, which has been converted at one time. But I really want to use the wheels. I like the way it looks. And I want to use these hubcaps, particularly because I really, really like them. I think that will add to the look that I'm doing. But the problem is, if I use those wheels, then I'm stuck with those hubs, which means I'm stuck at least with that rear end, and I'm stuck with a straight axle front end, or drop axle, whatever you want to call it. So I've definitely been on the fence with putting the old Mustang 2 generic under there. I like the idea of being more traditional, but I also like the idea of being able to steer and stop and all that good stuff, which is kind of important when you're driving. However, the overall look is, like everything, more important than functionality. So, not quite sure what to do. My goal is to drive this to Los Angeles to the Roadster Show 2026. I can, win the show, which of course isn't going to happen because it'll be a pile of junk, but needless to say. So that means that driving to LA is not going to happen with this flathead, which from the best I can tell should run, because it was indeed a running driving car before it was on fire. I don't really know what motor it is. So let me see if I can't find the serial number. Because if it's a later flathead, then it'll have the conventional bearings. If it's an early 36 or 35, then it's essentially a boat anchor because you really can't rebuild it. It's not logical anyway. So I think my small block Chevy is what's going to end in there, along with that 700 R4, simply because I'm an old guy, my arm hurts when I shift. So an automatic is going to have to be in my future, plus a little more extra power. The question is that I have to find out is, can I get a rear gear set for this rear end to make it functional on the highway? Because again, I got to drive 1,800 miles. So, as I'm stewing along, trying to figure out what the heck it is I'm going to do, my plan is to pull this into the garage, get it on the lift, disassemble everything, and get it down to just the bare chassis. Because regardless of what happens, the chassis has to get sandblasted, and then I can go from there. Well, I'm doing a little bit of research. But I'm very excited about this. So, really, what do you guys suggest in terms of upgrading this thing? Keep it old school traditional, or maybe a little new school, California style, which, that's the thing. It's like if I was living here, I live here, essentially, but in town. But if it was never intended to really drive anywhere out of, say, my town, not a big deal. Stock flathead is going to be a good time. driving cross country, and the way I drive is, you know, I like to drive a lot, so that little flathead is not going to be user-friendly, so it's one of those things. So my little friend, you're going to have to be in a holding pattern. But I did find this 32 Roadster pickup at the Lone Star Roundup that I really, really like, and I use this as kind of a basis for my look, because if you do recall, my intentions are to turn this into a Roadster pickup. Here's the rendering that I got on that. So it's something that doesn't exist, and it definitely needs to exist. So, I mean, my general plan is to basically get rid of this door, get rid of all this, make a cab surround to maybe somewhere in this ballpark here, with a real small roof, chopped windshield, of course, like there'd be any other option, and then a bed from this area to about this area here that I'll just make to be in proportion to the actual front cab, so it looks right. Modify the rear fenders to be more like truck fenders, which will be loads and loads of fun. I'll have to widen them, you know, like that to fit, which I think I can just use the rear fenders off my pickup truck as patterns, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, so totally doable. But again, it's now May 6th, so I have to have that thing drivable by January 1st of 2026. So a few months to put this together. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. The big key from a mechanical side is definitely going to be that guy, which, you know, I blew up 2 years ago. It was on my 40 coupe, so I need to pull that apart and figure out what's going on. I know I've done some research, and Speedway makes a self-energizing brake kit for these drums, but I'm not sure what's in there yet because they have been converted to hydraulic, so I got to see what those are first. That, or just get a whole different rear end and change the front end and go that route, which, again, I want to use the wheels. Although I could very easily put some 40 wheels on there with dog dish caps and be just as happy as can be, but, you know, we'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to drag the sucker in here. Well, let's get this party started. Problem number one with moving this thing is the ginormous tractor tires that are on there. They hit the fenders and the thing's hard as hell to move. So, plus I rolled it too far forward and it's off the sidewalk, and now I can't get it back up. So I gotta figure that out. Good times. And since Ryan's stupid car is still here, I'm gonna go ahead and tie my come along to it and drag this sucker up on here. Oh, and he has another car coming too. Those guys. Ow, fuck. Don't worry, it's going to be just fine. Bill Hines welded it. I'm sure it'll be good. See, I told you it'd be fine. See, easy as pie. And Ryan will never know. Yeah, these tires are ginormous. 750/16s, which, I don't know, maybe for a hot rod they'd be kind of cool. But for here, at the moment, actually it's the ones in the front that are the problem because they hit the fender. There's a smidge of too little clearance there, so I'm gonna put the baby in the cart and roll it in. Oh, I need to hook this guy back up to my pool. This one's kind of bent a little bit from the hearse. Apparently it was too heavy. Suppose I should probably clean the junk out of this thing first. I actually had thrown all this stuff in here to take this over to the other house, but since the other house is in limbo because there's no water, and let alone all the other nonsense in the town, we're sort of not sure what to do, so I'll just go ahead and work on this thing here. So I'm gonna get this junk out, take it over there. Oh, God, that's heavy. I'll keep digging. Try not to get hepatitis or lockjaw or the plague or anything else from this damn thing. Not nearly as worse as the hearse, but okay, it ran a rhyme. But still pretty bad. I don't think I'll be using those again. Well, there she is. Stage one. This stuff should be fun to try to get off of here. Damn. All right, that worked. Well, I got that sucker out. I'll tell you, you would darn near need a degree in mechanical engineering to figure that thing out. Although it does look savable, so perhaps I can use pieces from my top I'm going to build, or I just might do a Carson top. Carson top is probably going to be more realistic. Because I mean, really, how often are you taking the thing off? Like, never. So, I think next I'll yank the steering column, because it's not savable, because it's all bent up. Plus I have an extra one. And I'll get the dashboard out of there. So as you can see, we're having some structural issues. Dash is just floating in there. Steering column is actually warped, so I'm just going to take my Sawzall and be done with it. Maybe I'll cut it in here. Yeah, maybe I'll whack it right there. Get it out of my way. Whew. Fuel pump's looking good. She's a little melty. So, I don't know anything about flatheads, so this is like a foreign item to me. So, I'd like to know what it is. So maybe I'll find the serial number. Because if I find the serial number, then I can figure out what it is and see if it's worth saving, which I know it's not, so why even try? But yet still would like to know things. And this is where I recall that I left my Sawzall at the other house, so I guess that's not going to work. So plan B, which is, I don't know what it is yet. We'll find it. Well, I was able to undo the clamp on the bottom there and get that off, so that's going to be one heck of a wall hanger. I ain't going to reuse it. Trying to get the old hood off here, and naturally those screws are seized in there. And of course they don't match from side to side, so hoping my little stubby guy will fit in here. My little stubby bob. Which so far is not working. We have to break out the vice grips. Well, I couldn't seem to get in there, so I went and found my 1/4-inch line wrench and my little screwdriver bit. So now I can just sneak in there and bada bing. It's easier with 2 hands, but somebody has to hold the camera. And that somebody is me. No. Already looks better without a hood. May have to leave it that way. So, alrighty. Next, figure out how to get the doors. Well, might as well just get rid of them. Well, not get rid of them, but get them off of here. Which all the wood's gone, so I think it's just a matter of just cutting those screws there, and I can get these things out of the way. A little persuasion. Oh! She's a little loose. You can see this was all bolted together with wood, and the wood is, of course, all gone, so I'm going to go ahead and clip those off and get this thing out of the way and hang it up on the wall where it'll stay for, well, wherever. I don't need it. Trying to get the door latches to work. Nothing wrong with them, they're just stuck. Those two, don't need them. Try to save everything. I mean, despite for the fact it was on fire, it's actually in good shape. So. That thing don't want to budge. This is what's left of the wood, charcoal briquette. I guess that doesn't want to come out. What the? I don't know. Fine. That ain't so bad. All right, I got the last door off. And it's at this point in the project where you start to have doubts about buying this, thinking, maybe I shouldn't have bought this car. But you gotta fight through that crap because nobody wants to hear that negativity. Let's go. Yeah, all my shovels are at the other house, so I got a hula hoe. It'll work just fine. Meh. Well, that's what's left of the interior. Not much. Can only go up from here. So, I'm going to take my running boards off, take my rear fender off and all that, and basically slice it right there, take this and into the scrap pile. And we're gonna work with just this. Kind of debating whether I want to take the front fenders off or not. I don't know, we'll see. Oh yeah, that's mint. I have no idea if I can get a replacement. This will be the first thing I look for anyhow. So as we continue to dig here, all of this is lead. This whole thing, you can see, was melting out here. But this is all lead here. You see there's a puddle of lead that was up there on the side. There was a patch up there, so that's like gold these days, actual real lead. So just one of those little fun things you dig up here. Here's some fun little little bit of mud. Not bad. Success. All right, trying to identify what the heck this thing is. Because I dug around the back of the car, and the back of the car does not have a 36 Ford axle. It has a later version, which is I think a 37 to 40 possibly, but given the brakes, wide 5, it's got to be probably a 39 is my guess. So the question is what the heck is this? Is this a 36 Ford axle, or is this a 39 Ford axle? And all of that makes a difference because I got to figure out what I got to order or go from there. I don't know. The mysteries of the unknown. I need to call those iron trap guys. They seem to know more about this old archaic Flintstone crap than I do. Trying to scour the ham and figure out trying to figure out what it is here. The mysteries of the unknown. Oh, you come to help? All right, after geeking out for a little while, I determined that my front axle and wishbone are indeed 36. The back is later, whatever it was, 37 to 40. So that gives me something to work with here. So now I got to figure out what the brakes are, which I'm pretty sure 37 to 39. I'm thinking 39. I don't know. It's something. I gotta take it all apart still. But yeah, gotta figure out the parts. this. Come on. Alrighty, everything looks good in here. Alright, we're done. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to touch it. I think I've got 3 sets of those wishbones up there. Don't know if I really need them, but you know, they are what they are. So, I wonder how hard this is to get off. Because I want to look at the brakes. I don't know what that sound is. You can see we got the hydraulic master cylinder, so I'm going to order that guy. I think we'll just play it safe and order all new brake stuff. I mean, the car was on fire, but simple, Joe. Yeah, how's that for patina? I guess I should probably cap off the gas tank neck. I think that was lead. Now remember, the name of the show is How to Ruin a Perfectly Good Car, so here we are. Find a little wrench. Clean that up, see what it's like. Very let's work. One more piece of the pie. Well, one more piece of the pie that's gone. See that? Ford, USA. That thing's been there a long, long time. That is a little treasure. Don't buy cars that were on fire. Trust me. It must be 2:30 because she has shown up. I swear she can tell time. Snack time. Okay, hit the road, dude. So you guys drinking my Kool-Aid yet? It's got less and less pieces as we go. So climbing under here, it's actually not bad under here. I mean, it's kind of what I would expect, really. Despite it being on fire, it actually is relatively solid. It's just the problem is it makes all the bolts rust and you can't get any of the bolts out. But the sheet metal is actually, at least the sheet metal that I want, which isn't a whole lot of the car, is actually good and usable. So the fire didn't affect anything down here in the bottom, so that's good. Which it doesn't matter because I'm going to redo a lot of it anyway. But confirmed that this is a 37 to 39 rear end. I don't really know the date. As far as I know, there's no way to date them, but it has these later wishbones, so it's definitely not a 40 and beyond because of the bolt pattern. 36 axle, which is bent, by the way, so I guess I'll have to order one of those. But it is coming together, or coming apart anyhow. So this thing had a lot of lead in it. I mean, every panel had some sort of lead in there. So I'm going to continue taking it apart, but I left the fenders and the fender wells. Let me lower this thing down here. Hold on, hold tight. So for the most part, this thing is, it's not full of rot. So if you look here in the tool tray, this is a spot that always rusts out, and this is actually quite solid. The floor pan here is solid, but all this up here is completely rotted out. And I think that was more of a newer thing because after it caught on fire, they just left all the garbage in it and parked it under a tree for the last like 2 years. And I think that pretty much killed that portion, which doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to use any of it anyway. But when I stepped on it, I went through it. So they didn't do it much good there. So probably end up making new rails, which actually I'm kind of thinking about doing something a little bit different here because as I'm sitting here brainstorming, so this goes here and the door comes down here, but I kind of would like to take this line here and bring it all the way straight through with the panel and tie in here, and have the door line end up here. I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about from the aesthetics type of thing, but nothing, I don't know. We're not set in stone yet. We're still in the brainstorming. So, the B-pillar, which is rock solid, this thing is very, very stout. So, playing off of this here, we're going to take and actually, hold on. As nimble as a schoolboy. So what I'm thinking is here, so they can take a piece of exhaust tubing, because this 2.5 inch diameter matches this roll of the door here, and I got to be from this edge back 10 inches so the top looks right. So I was thinking of basically starting with this here and then skinning around it. It's, you got to start with something. So but it'll come about this far back, and then this will be bed that goes down. And then from there on, will be bed. And then I'm thinking the bed will come out maybe in this range here, just past the tip of the fenders. And then we'll move the bumper out just a smidgy. But I cut all this out because obviously I don't need it. So I need to modify the fenders and turn them into truck fenders because they'll come out and meet somewhere in this area here once I get my bed sides going. So I may have to, maybe I can use this as a buck, I don't know. I mean, ultimately I'm not going to use it, but it was here and it was easy to leave it. So, I mean, really, I mean, for the most part, for the pieces that I need, it's actually in good shape. So I really don't think it was a bad deal. I paid $3 grand for the car, about $3 grand, I think, $3,500. So for that, I don't think it was bad because actually, I'm pretty sure I can get this motor to run. It does crank over, but fuel pump and so maybe I'll play with this. Maybe I'll keep it. I kind of don't think so, unless I can come up with a bigger flathead, which I'm probably not going to. So we're going to be doing small block, but we're not worrying about that right now. We're trying to stay focused. So dissecting some more. So my goal is to get the rest of this off here. Then I can get everything sandblasted, and then I can do the chassis. So I've been sorting out what to get with the chassis here, all just parts wise. So we're getting there. So this project will continue. We are out at the new house checking some things out, working on other stuff. I'm restoring that, as you can see, that remarkable beast out there, which it's turned into like a huge nightmare, by the way. The town's got like water issues and it's become a disaster. So that junk will be on the other channel if you want to pay attention to it. Right now it's just mostly annoying me, but I figure since I'm here, I'll be happy to show you the estate here. So this here is the garage, which is attached to the house, which is a 3-car there. And then behind this ginormous tree is another 3-car, but it's only got actually a 1-door. So the guy built this in the mid-90s. So it's got this 3-car here. Let me step over my pile of garbage. Hope I don't get bit by anything or see anything spooky. And then he built this 3-car-esque garage, which was his wood shop, which is going to be Laura's upholstery shop here before too long. But you can already see there's already some stuff in here. Also came with all kinds of antique wood that goes with the house. And look, small block Chevy header gaskets. So, the guy was apparently cool. So we got all this in here. So hopefully we'll get this thing cleaned up for too long. And this will be the home of the upholstery. We're gonna try not to mention the electrical. It's a little sketchy, it kind of makes me itchy, but it is what it is. I try not to judge other people's work, but yes, the electrical is scary. Almost as scary as the house, honestly. And definitely as scary as the wife. Do I want to see what you got, babe? I've been doing it my whole life. What do you got? Oh, you're a mountain goat? What's your friend's name?
He's not a mountain goat.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's a goat.
Well, of course it's a fucking goat.
Oh, see, now that'll go fine with your house and Satan.
It's a goat. Look at him.
Sure it's not a yak?
It's a goat. He's a menacing goat. He's actually been through the ringer.
Yeah, looks a little hammer. How much did you pay for him?
None of your business.
All right, excellent, like most things.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're carrying on. So again, behind the enormous tree that's full of bees that we have to probably burn to the ground, here is the new home to the old iron workshop. Now if I just pick it up, move it someplace where I want to live, it'd be great. But it's stuck here with her. Hold on. Hold your socks. There you are. It is. Let me walk over here. Oh, there's a turtle shell. So there we are. I'm gonna say that it's 30 by 60, I'm gonna guess. Haven't measured it, but it has ample space. So I should be able to do a heck of a lot more stuff than I do here. I mean, honestly, heck, I'll be happy with just this area here, but we got all that extra stuff. And to make it even more fun, I guess I probably need to unload my trailer here, is it even's got a second level up there. And that's actually pretty stoutly built, as it's all I-beam with a big purlin. So hell, I could stick a car up if I wanted to. I'm definitely not sticking a car up there, but you know, if one wanted to, one could. So this is the future, possibly, shop if we stay here. I don't know. This whole house thing is a disaster. And I know y'all warned me, don't do it, but I did it anyway. And I was never a good listener anyway. But yeah, we got all kinds of parts for the houses here, and you know, I've already brought some of my extra junk lying around, just get out of my way here, and left it here. But yes, I think I could probably squeeze a couple of projects in here. Hopefully going to expand into the future. And see if we can't get, you know, this channel off the ground here, I guess. Or something, I don't know.